Line object details. The simplest objects you can place on a label are lines. To create a new line object, just click on the line tool in the lower toolbar. The cursor will change to a line shape. Move the cursor over the label to the point where you want the line to start and click once. A new line will be created that has an arbitrary length and slant, and it will show two handlebars at its endpoints that indicate it is selected. The lower toolbar will automatically make the selection tool active, and the cursor will automatically change back to a pointer as the selection tool. Lines are determined by 2 points and can have a thickness as well as a color and a line style. Lines can have an arrow at either or both ends. The size of the arrows is also variable. You can change the position and length of a line by grabbing either endpoint and moving it. When you let go of the mouse, the new line will be redrawn. To unselect the line object, just click in any white space area of the label and you will see the handlebars disappear to indicate the line is no longer selected. You can click on a line and then grab it and move it to reposition it anywhere on the label. To change the color of a line, first click on the line to select it and then click the color button in the upper toolbar. You will see a standard dialog box for selecting a color. After you choose a color and click OK, you will see the line has the new color. You can change the thickness of a line by first selecting the line, and then you can click the line thickness tool that is in the upper toolbar to automatically select a wider line. Newly created lines default to 0.02 inches of thickness. To manually edit the properties of a line, you can either right-click it to bring up a Properties menu item, or you can just click it to select it, and then you can click the Properties button in the upper toolbar. Either way, you would bring up the dialog box that shows all the properties of the currently selected line. You can check either of two checkboxes to make a line perfectly vertical or horizontal. These checkboxes are not permanent properties of a line, but when you close the dialog box, their action will become apparent. Another unusual property of lines is that they can be made non-printable. The reason you might not want to print lines is because you might want to use them as cropping marks or other parts of a design that aren't supposed to be printed. In any case, the non-printable property does not mean they won't display on the screen. It just means they won't print on any printer when you actually create a print job. A line can also be locked. When any object is locked, it means the object's size and position can't be changed. Usually, you will lock objects to prevent them from being moved accidentally. If you make a line very thick without arrows, the line will appear to have rounded ends. The smallest you can make a line is 0.001 inches thick. You can also just choose the hairline selection from the line thickness tool in the toolbar. Entering a line thickness value of 0 is the same as choosing a hairline thickness that is 1 pixel thick on any display or printer. Note that you can choose to have none or 1 or 2 arrowheads with a line. When you do choose to make arrows, you may also want to set the size of the arrowhead. The default size is 0.05 inches, but sometimes you may want to increase this a little. The last property of lines we will discuss is the line style. Lines can have one of 3 line styles. The default line style is solid. We can change that to make a dashed line. A line can also be drawn with a dotted line style. If you click the button with the caption Advanced Line Styles, you can further edit either the number of dots per inch or the ratio of the solid to blank spacing that is used to form the dash style. We will now show some variations of both dotted and dashed line styles. We are going to make the line dotted without arrows and change the line thickness to 0.03 inches. Perhaps we can make the line look a little better by changing the number of dots per inch from 15 to 10. Finally, we are going to change to the dashed line style. This time, we will change the ratio of the solid to blank spacing. The default ratio is 2 to 1, but we are going to change it to 2 to 7. You have very fine control over the dashed style for a line object. Now you should have a good idea of how you can set the properties of lines.